Storm Team 2 Rooftop Weather, sponsored by Contract Exteriors.
Good morning, everybody. So far, so good. A good mix of sun and clouds with sunshine really warming us up. Now, most of us here through the lunch hour going between 80 into the low, maybe even a few mid 80s in some spots. That gets us to an afternoon high today of about 85 degrees. We're talking rain chances, though, coming up as we head toward the end of the week. Finally, some promising rain chances, we hope. We'll outline that for you coming up in just a few minutes.
Now, Count on 2, live and local in the Lowcountry. This is News 2 Midday.
Thanks for joining us for News 2 Midday. Now, we want to get to a traffic alert before we begin because it appears we are seeing heavy traffic right now along 17 on the Ravenel Bridge southbound away from Mount Pleasant. And traffic is moving better than it was. We had 3 lanes closed earlier because of a crash there. It looks like we now have 2 lanes open, 2 lanes closed as well. And we have seen people out there directing traffic actually in the middle of the road. So take it slow as you approach the top of the Ravenel Bridge, and then you'll pick back up. But 17 right now in Mount Pleasant, leaving to go to downtown or I-26. Heavy traffic. Oh, there he is. You can see the guy right there directing traffic, and it's a pretty dangerous spot he's in. So take it slow if you're in those far 2 left lanes. We'll let you know as soon as this wreck clears, but I would recommend taking 526 because right behind where those lanes are closed, it is bumper to bumper traffic all the way into Mount Pleasant on Johnny Dodds. Thanks for joining us for News 2 Midday. It is Wednesday, the first day of May. I'm Laura Smith. It is All Out May 1. Hundreds of teachers called out across South Carolina to rally in Columbia for more money and smaller class sizes. You are looking at video from earlier this morning when teachers in Dorchester District 2 boarded buses at Summerville High School. Each teacher paid about $13 to cover costs for the activity buses owned by DD2. Those teachers have since made it to the State House. They are rallying, and it sounds loud out there. Count on 2 reporter Stetson Miller is there in Columbia. And Stetson, how's it going so far?
Hey Laura, it's been going well. The teachers left Summerville early this morning. They left from Summerville High School and got here to Columbia around 9:15. They started out at the State Department of Education and then walked all the way over here to the State House. And if you can see behind me here, there are a lot of people, thousands of teachers, all in red on the front, left, and right sides of the state capitol. Lots and lots of teachers here. And there's also lots of folks here from Dorchester County. I met up with a couple of them. Joseph Pye, the superintendent, is here, as well as, again, several teachers from Dorchester District 2. Councilman Jay Byers, the county councilman from Dorchester County, was also here. They're all here to support the teachers here. Teachers told me that they're looking for more funding in general, not just teacher raises, but more funding for schools. One teacher told me they're not sure if this may generate the change they need during this legislative session, but they think it's at least going to send a statement to the state representatives. And later this afternoon, representatives from Dorchester District 2 will be meeting with one of our local state reps, Con Chellis, to discuss some of the changes that they are looking for. So again, we're bringing more later on today on News 2, and we'll continue to follow what happens here with the Dorchester District 2 teachers at this rally. In Columbia, Stetson Miller, Count on 2.
All right, Stetson, thank you so much. And Dorchester District 2 has already announced a makeup day on June 7th for students. A teacher work day will be on June 10th. Now, just make sure you stay with News 2 on this story. We will have more coverage of hashtag All Out May 1 right here on News 2. Coming up in the next half hour, we will hear from another reporter on what's going on there. Thousands of people woke up without power this morning. Dominion Energy telling us around 6 this morning equipment failed on a line on Rivers Avenue. Some schools and traffic lights across North Charleston had no power for some time. Power has since been restored across Charleston and Berkeley counties. A shooting in downtown Charleston leaves one person injured. Police say it happened just before 9 last night on Line Street. Medics took one person to the hospital. We will bring you more information as soon as it comes into our newsroom. I always love seeing these stories. Sea turtles released back into the ocean after spending some time at the South Carolina's Aquarium's Turtle Care Center. This is video of the sea turtle released this morning at Folly Beach County Park. Voldemort, Scabbers, and Dumbledore loggerhead turtles weighing from 50 to 320 pounds are now back home. Lots of people, including Storm Team 2 meteorologist David Dixon, went there to the edge of America to see the sweet sight. All of them spent about a year in rehab for injuries, including fishing line entanglement. Pretty cool there, and a perfect forecast for the sea turtle release. Let's bring in meteorologist Josh Marthers to see what we can expect with the forecast today. Lots of sunshine and heating up again.
Yeah, we are. The big weather story here, though, now that we need to start focusing on is
the rain.
The rain chance on Friday, and that's centered, believe it or not, off of something that could be coming from the tropics. Remember,
really?
Laura, a few weeks ago, I said the only thing that's going to break this until we get into the summertime afternoon storm pattern is either a storm coming out of the Gulf, like we had with the severe weather a few weeks ago, or something in the tropics. Well, we've got the tropics in play now. That's this area of disturbed weather down here east of Miami and out over the Bahamas. That, believe it or not, is what we think could save us or at least give us some drought relief here later this week, as we all are under that moderate drought with nearly 7.2 inches of rain below normal. Here it comes. This area of low pressure will work its way to the north. The National Hurricane Center also monitoring this. It has a small risk of developing into a tropical depression. I don't think it will. It's a little just quite not right for that. It may briefly. Either way, it doesn't matter. It's going to give us the heaviest rain, we think, just off the coast. But for Friday itself, we're talking off and on showers and maybe a thunderstorm, which I think we'll take. Fair weather clouds out there right now, although it is partly cloudy. Warm, humid, upper 70s, low 80s area wide. And here's where we're headed through the rest of the afternoon. A mix of sun and clouds with afternoon highs around 85 degrees and a south-southeast wind at 10 to 15.
Thanks, Josh. A road project is moving forward after years of delays. The town of Somerville begins accepting bids today for the Bear Island Road Extension Project. It'll connect North Main Street to North Maple Street. The town is hoping to begin construction this spring and finish in 2020. It is tea time in downtown Charleston. St. Philip's Church is hosting its annual tea room this week, and it's a tradition that started in 1952. That's where we find the Low Country's chief meteorologist, Rob Fowler, there and joining us live right now. And Rob, this tea room is going through Friday?
All right, we're live here at St. Philip's in downtown. Last year we came, we enjoyed the tea room and the gift shop. So far, we're 2 for 2 with the weather. What a beautiful day it is. And this is the only week they do this year. And this is something you have to enjoy. And Hope Gamble, you are in charge this year. Tell us what folks can expect. You're already off and running, but this is kind of the middle of the week. But what a beautiful day to have lunch outside.
Yes, we've had beautiful weather. We have delicious food. And we have outside indoor seating. So something for everyone.
So I know this is going to be filled here pretty soon. What time do the gates open, if you will?
11:30, although sometimes we have a line before that, and we go until 2 o'clock.
And you guys have been doing this for a long time, but where does the money go and why do you do this?
We started in 1952, so we've been doing it a long time. And the money benefits our world and home missions, our youth groups, and our choirs.
All right, let's get to the important part. We've got the dessert tray, which a lot of us like to start with desserts. What do we have on the tray?
So here we have a Huguenot torte, which is an old Charleston recipe, and you have apples and raisins inside of that, and then a coconut cake, a chocolate cake with chocolate mousse, and then a rum raisin cake.
Oh, delicious. Oh my gosh. So if anyone wants to come out here, what do they need to do?
Just come on down to the church at the corner of Church Street in Cumberland. We also do takeout and delivery downtown, so there's no reason to miss out.
Can you deliver to Channel 2 across the bridge?
We'll deliver to your table here.
Oh, okay. All right, I know some hungry folks back at the news station would love it. Hey, we'll send it back to you, Laura. We'll have another report live here from St. Philip's Church. It's the annual tea room and gift shop coming up here in just a few minutes.
Next on News 2.
Tragedy at the University of North Carolina Charlotte campus after a gunman opens fire, killing 2 people. What authorities are now saying about the deadly shooting? Next. WikiLeaks, that is, founder Julian Assange sentenced to 50 weeks in prison for jumping bail in 2012. A British judge told a London court this morning that Assange merited near the maximum sentence of 1 year because of the seriousness of his offense. She rejected his claim for leniency based on the nearly 7 years he spent in Ecuador's London embassy, where she says he sought asylum in a deliberate attempt to delay justice. Assange was holed up in the embassy in 2012 to avoid extradition to Sweden. That is where he was wanted for questioning over sexual assault allegations. His lawyers argued that he had jumped bail because he was, quote, desperate for fearing extradition to the United States. Shots fired on a college campus in North Carolina. Police say a lone gunman opened fire at the University of North Carolina, Charlotte on the last day of classes. The campus was quickly placed on lockdown. 2 people were killed. The gunman now in custody. NBC's Chris Clackham joins us now with the latest.
We saw people, just running and whispering there's a shooter.
Students caught in the crossfire of another school shooting.
And all of a sudden we just heard a loud bang near the window.
This time on the campus of the University of North Carolina, Charlotte. Students terrified and running from the building as officers moved in.
Someone ran in, yelled, "There's an active shooter, get down."
We have multiple victims in here. We're going to need multiple ambulances.
2 dead and 4 wounded. The gunman, 22-year-old Tristan Terrell, taken into custody, mouthing the words, "I shot the guy," as he was brought into police headquarters a short time later.
And we trained for this type of an incident. One officer immediately went to the suspect to take him down.
The university is being credited for saving lives, sending out critical alerts on social media to students and staff that read, "Run, hide, fight, secure yourselves immediately."
But in the moment, there's nothing I can do. It's him against all of us.
Students who should have been preparing for finals and graduation are now grieving, trying to understand why.
We'll get through this, but it's going to be painful, and I think we can all expect that it's going to take quite a while to get past it.
A shaken campus community waking up to a new reality. Chris Clackham, NBC News, Charlotte.
Taking a live look outside right now across the Shem Creek area. This is from the top of Saltwater Cowboys at the Mount Pleasant waterfront. Looking good. Warming up too. We do have a lot of cloud cover, but that cloud cover is still allowing temperatures to warm with the sunshine there mixed in. We're at 79 right now in Somerville, 77 in Moncks Corner, 79 in Georgetown, 75 Folly Beach, 79 in Walterboro, and 76 on Edisto Beach. Here's your planning forecast as we head through the day today. Around 82 at noon. We'll make it to around 84 at 2 o'clock, 82 at 4, 78 at 6, and 73 as we head toward 8. A south-southeast wind at about 10 to 15 miles per hour. That will allow us to see an increase in humidity again today. Even though it's still going to be dry, no rain, it is going to be a little more stuffy. 85 in King Street today, 85 in Goose Creek, about the same in Walterboro, Somerville, and Moncks Corner. We'll be in the upper 70s out along the beaches, low 80s right along Highway 17. A south wind at about 5 to 15 miles per hour on the beaches this afternoon. We're in the mid to upper 70s here through 1 o'clock and then slowly falling through the afternoon as that sea breeze works in. Water temperature at 73 degrees. Some clouds and patchy fog tonight. A southeast wind at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Low 60s well inland, mid and upper 60s out toward the coastline. We now focus our attention on the drought. Every day that it's dry, we get into even worse shape. We need some rain. And you know, earlier in the week, we really were struggling with this Friday, Saturday, Sunday. A cold front moving in. Would it be able to tap the Gulf of Mexico? Well, we don't have to worry about it tapping the Gulf of Mexico, because what it's going to do is it's going to lift a tropical wave out of the Bahamas north. What that's going to do is spread some scattered showers into the area. Now, we're not talking an all-day rain just yet. I'd like to get this through another 24 hours and see if we can get there. But we're at least looking now at the likelihood of off and on showers, which is something we weren't even talking about as a distinct possibility just 24 hours ago. Now that we're getting closer to this, this is going looking a little more promising, which is great news. We need this rain, and I'm hoping we can take that rain chance up some Friday. Saturday and Sunday will be in the mid-80s with a few showers and thunderstorms, mid to upper 80s early next week under a partly cloudy sky. This 10-day outlook, even with that little tropical disturbance coming up out of the south, has a very June feel to it rather than the first week of May. But you know what? At least we are increasing that threat for rain, Laura, and we desperately need it.
Certainly do, Josh. We have a special guest joining us in studio today. You might recognize her from the television show Girlfriends. We ran into CeCe Michaela while on a shoot at the McLeod Plantation yesterday. Today we invited her to our studio to talk with us about what she's doing in town and some of the work that she's working on at the plantation. Thank you for coming in.
Oh, it's a blessing to be here.
And you're a Carolina girl.
Yes, Hickory, North Carolina. It's good to be in South Carolina.
Yeah, we love having you. What are you doing in Charleston?
Well, I'm doing a lot of research for my book and my show that's coming up. It's called Brilliant Bones, Miraculous Marrow. And it's just the untold stories and the unheard voices of the enslaved people, because it's just time. You know, we have the Black Lives Matter movement. I'm like, what are we going to do to make it really matter? And I'm like, let's go back in time and bring it to life. So with me having a Broadway background, I was like, you know what? It's time. If they can do it with Alexander Hamilton,
absolutely.
You know, I can just see it. So I was doing visiting all of the plantations, Drayton Hall, I believe, Middleton Place, and of course, as you said, McLeod. OMG.
Gorgeous, right?
Gorgeous, powerful, deep. And I was able to get so much information from a lot of the enslaved people, not just the ones that were serving in the kitchen, but I learned about the rice plantation and the things that they went through in the rice plantation, the golden rice. You know, a lot of times we only know white rice and brown rice. Like, golden rice, that just sounds...
You said it was certainly different from the inland.
It's totally different. And then they taught me about the Sea Island cotton, totally different from mainland cotton. So that's going to affect my show. Me as an actress, I love to taste it, feel it, and I didn't want to just, nothing wrong with Google. I love my Google, but to just really get into the atmosphere, to stand on the same wooden floors that they stood on, to go down into the lower cellars where they were living, and to see the big fireplaces where they were cooking, and to stand under the Spanish moss and the live oaks. Absolutely. And to see it. It's just going to take my writing to the next level. And if it's going to be our history, which is American history, it's got to be right, it's got to be real, and it's got to be authentic.
Well, we're excited that you're in town learning more about the history, because there is so much here in the Low Country. Where can people find you and learn more information about what you're doing?
Well, I'm CeCe Michaela, so it's simply www.imceecee.com.
All right, sounds good. Well, welcome to town, and we'd love to have you. And of course, if you would like to find CeCe, we will get the link posted on our website, counton2.com. Thanks for coming in. Charcoal products have exploded in popularity recently, but does it really help? You find charcoal in skincare products, hair care products, even toothpaste. I have it myself. Haley Hernandez explains whether this charcoal toothpaste could be more harmful or helpful.
Available at most stores now. Charcoal toothpaste, popular among Instagram stars, TV reporters, and dentist Terry Alani.
What this activated charcoal does, it acts like a magnet, and it just pulls particles and everything away from the area. And then once it's washed away, it keeps the surface very clean.
It looks bizarre, but basically the charcoal can remove stains. The problem is Dr. Alani says it's abrasive and over time can hurt the enamel.
And you want to brush gently. Don't brush with rigor because you can cause sensitivity and thin out your enamel.
So how often can you get the benefit and protect your teeth?
Do not do this every day. You know, people can get addicted to this stuff. It will wear your teeth down. But once every other week, you know, especially for those coffee drinkers, smokers, whatever, it'll really work.
Walk to End Multiple Sclerosis this Saturday, and every step and dollar raised helps the National Multiple Sclerosis Society get closer to finding a cure. Regina Lyles is here with more information with how you can get involved and when this walk is taking place. Thanks for coming in.
Thanks for having me.
You are so welcome. So let's first start by talking about what MS is.
Okay. I would like to explain it this way. If you take an electrical cord, it has the protective coating on it, and if you strip away that protective coating and those wires touch, strange things can happen. Yeah. Much like in MS, it's an attack of your immune system, and it interrupts information between the brain and the body.
And how does it impact people daily?
It can impact people differently. You and I could have it, and our symptoms and the things that happen to us can be entirely different. For most people, though, you will experience loss of vision, headaches, numbness, and tingling.
Absolutely. So now y'all are coming together, trying to find a cure for this, and the community can come out and help you this weekend.
Yes, we're excited to have our Walk MS event for Charleston this year, and it's going to be held at James Island County Park at the Wando Shelter. And its registration starts at 9 a.m. The walk will begin at 10 a.m. And you can be an easy walker and do 1 mile, or an overachiever and do 3 miles.
Absolutely. So you can still register.
You can register until noon this Thursday at walkms.org.
Okay. Is there anything else you'd like to add for this event people should know about?
We would like for people who are actually living with MS to make sure they visit the Living with MS tent, where we are very happy to give you a t-shirt because we know the struggles that you go through. Absolutely. But it's a great opportunity for people who have been diagnosed for a long time to come out and support the cause. But it's also a great time for people who are newly diagnosed to come out and meet other people who are living with the same challenges that they may be living with.
Yeah, connect with some others and know that you're not alone.
Absolutely.
In this fight. All right.
Absolutely.
Well, thank you so much for coming in, Regina. We'll get more information posted on our website, counton2.com. Before we go, let's take a look at what's trending on the Count on 2 app. Low Country teachers are in Columbia for the hashtag All Out May 1 rally. Berkeley County School District Superintendent making an apology in a Facebook post, and Dominion Energy citing equipment failure for an early morning power outage.
Stay in the know on the go with the News 2 app, sponsored by Hendrick Honda. Now, Count on 2, live and local in the Low Country. This is News 2 Midday.
We are kicking off our second half hour of News 2 Midday. We appreciate you joining us. I'm here in the Weather Center with the Low Country's morning meteorologist, Josh Marthers. And Josh, we need the rain, and we're possibly seeing some rain that could come our way.
We are, and we've talked about this. There are two ways to get it. We have to have a storm system like we had a couple of Fridays ago. The bad thing with that is we get severe weather. The other alternatives is something coming out of the tropics. Well, we've got something in the tropics to watch. This is in the Bahamas. This is not necessarily going to be a tropical storm or a tropical depression, even though the National Hurricane Center down in Miami is watching this very carefully for possible development later in the week as it moves up toward our coast. I don't think it'll happen. If it does, it would be well to our north and east before that would take shape. But what it does for us is it helps provide some relief. We're in moderate drought across the Low Country, about 7.22 below normal for the year as far as rain is concerned. And that moisture plume moves in as we head toward Friday. As it heads to the north, I still think the heaviest rain will be off the coast out near the center of the tropical wave itself. but we are going to see off and on showers and thunderstorms during the day Friday, which is fantastic news. Taking a live look outside across the area, we're in the upper 70s, low 80s. Here's your planning forecast for today. Fair weather clouds overhead. Look for an afternoon high around 85 with a light breeze out of the southeast at about 10 to 15 miles per hour.
Raises and smaller class sizes. Teachers called out today across South Carolina to rally at the State House in Columbia. Colleton County School District and Dorchester District 2 closed today for it. Count on 2 reporter Georgia Godfrey joining us live at the State House. And Georgia, you have some teachers with you right now.
That's absolutely right. I mean, the saying is there is power in numbers, and that's definitely showing true here today. We actually heard from the city of Columbia that there's about 10,000 people out here at the State House, all dressed in red for education, including several organizations from across the state and dozens of local school districts. Now, one of those organizations is the South Carolina Education Association, and joining me right now is the president, Ms. Sherry East. First, give me a reaction to see all these red shirts out here advocating for education reform.
It was amazing. Like, this is the most amazing thing I've ever seen. I've been waiting for the teachers to wake up and use their teacher voice for advocacy, and it's here. So this is an amazing start to what I hope doesn't end here today. I hope we take this on tomorrow and move forward for the rest of our lives here to fight for education in South Carolina.
And a lot of people kind of have this misconception that this is just about teacher pay, but it is absolutely a lot more than that.
I would almost tell you that it's not about, that's probably the last thing on these folks' mind right now is the pay. Like, yes, we got a 4% raise and that was okay, but this is the working conditions that we deal with every day. We have teachers that can't go to the bathroom. We have over-testing. We are taking folks' planning time. We have overcrowded classrooms, and we have a lot of mental health behavior issues that have been going on in the classrooms that we've been asking for help with. Like we've been saying, help us, help us, help us, and it hasn't happened. So I think this is just the frustration level of teachers right now is great, and it's like, look, now or never. They've watched other states do this and they feel empowered, and it's amazing. Teacher friends of mine that have never spoken up about anything are finally, the fire is in them to make sure that they are here today and fighting for their students, to make sure that they have the better conditions, better working conditions for teachers or better learning conditions for our students.
All right, thank you. So you heard it here first, smaller classroom sizes, less testing, and obviously overall education reform when it comes into the state. The momentum here will continue for the rest of the afternoon. There will be several more speakers, all speaking on behalf of our educators and our students here in South Carolina. Live in Columbia, Georgia Godfrey, Count on 2.
I'm going to get a big shout out for them.
Thanks so much for that report, Georgia. And of course, it has not stopped there. You can head to our website for the latest developments, and of course, we'll have more on News 2 at 4. For now, though, we are moving on to a news story. Count on 2 update. That is, the Department of Energy says it will remove the weapons-grade plutonium secretly shipped from South Carolina to Nevada last year. The plan is to start removing it in 2021 and finish by the end of 2026. Energy Secretary Rick Perry also says his department won't ship any more plutonium from South Carolina to a site north of Las Vegas. Nevada filed a court order to temporarily ban new plutonium shipments to the state. Boeing says a safety feature was not activated on all of its 737 MAX jets. A warning called Disagree Alert is supposed to be standard, while the angle of attack indicator is optional. Boeing says the Disagree Alert was mistakenly not activated on aircraft that did not have the optional warning. The AOA indicator tells pilots when one of those sensors doesn't work. The Disagree Alert shows if they contradict each other. Boeing says neither alert is necessary to safely operate the 737 MAX. Investigators say 2 recent deadly crashes involving the plane are linked to faulty data from an angle of attack sensor. And it is time to brush up on your tea time etiquette. St. Philip's Church hosting its annual tea room this week, and that's where we find the Low Country's chief meteorologist Rob Fowler with more in downtown Charleston. Rob?
Hey, Laura, thanks a lot. Yeah, it's the annual tea room and gift shop here at St. Philip's downtown on Church Street, one of the beautiful churches in our fantastic city. We'll talk about the food in a minute because that's very important, but also important is where the money goes to support the missions that you guys support here at St. Philip's. And Sam and Jerry, tell us about that. Where does some of the money go? Folks come and eat, and that money goes to some great causes.
All right, but the money goes to, that's being raised here through this fundraiser, goes to support world missions and home missions here at St. Philip's. Our world missions are focused on Haiti, Honduras, Rwanda,
India.
And India.
And water missions.
And water missions. Jerry McCord here, the Reverend Jerry McCord, heads up the World Missions Committee, and he can fill you in on some of the details for these different missions.
All right, Jerry.
Thank you. Thank you for being here. It's just a great opportunity for us in the city here through the church to offer this to the community and to tourists one time a year. It's got a long history, and as Sam said, it goes to the donations go to support our world missions, home missions, youth, and choir.
Well, thank you very much. I don't mean to cut you off, but we want to mention the food very briefly. So what do we have here, Jenny?
Well, we have a pimento cheese sandwich on wheat, which also comes on white bread, and a ham biscuit. We have curry chicken salad, egg salad, shrimp salad, and also chicken salad, which comes with a beautiful biscuit here as well.
Oh, that's beautiful. And I know we've talked about the desserts, Savannah. They're melting a little bit.
I know, but here we have a coconut cake, a chocolate cake with chocolate mousse, a Huguenot torte, which is delicious, and also a rum cake.
All right, the gates are open. Come on, enjoy the great meal here for a wonderful cause. Thank you, gentlemen. Thank you, ladies. Laura, we'll send it back to you, and if they let me, we'll bring some to-go boxes back to Channel 2.
Next on News 2.
You are reading my mind, Rob. Make sure you grab a piece of chocolate cake for me. I'll take that. We've got Callie Knight here from Dorchester Paws with our pet of the day. Eva is looking for a forever home. We've got more coming up after the break. You hear him snoring because we're talking about French Bulldogs, but we have a sweet puppy that's looking for a home, and maybe you're looking to adopt. We have Callie Knight from Dorchester Paws right now to introduce us to Eva, and then also to tell us more about some of the events you have coming up. Thanks for coming in, Callie.
Well, thank you. Yeah, this sweet little girl is Eva. As you see, she knows a couple commands. She knows sit, and she likes
does.
Sit. Yeah, she loves people. She's a 4-year-old. We're thinking, what, terrier now, possibly.
We think like
Frenchie.
a pit bull / Frenchie.
Frenchie, yeah, there you go, with the ears, definitely. So she can hear very, very well. But she's a great, great dog. She's really good with kids and people, obviously. A little smaller dog, she's a little timid around. I think she just plays a little bit too rough with them. But if you have a bigger dog, of course, we ask that we encourage a meet and greet, so you can bring your animal over to Dorchester Paws, and we have our staff will help you out with that. But she is available for adoption right now. So.
She is a great size.
Yeah, she's perfect. She can sit in your lap, which she definitely does. She did in the green room. She was right up on us, but she's super sweet. Didn't make a lot of noise. Was a great car rider over here, and didn't use the bathroom in my car. That's always a good thing. So, yeah, she's awesome. So she's ready to go.
She's just hanging out. And tell us about what you have coming up.
So we have a couple events coming up. Obviously, we have Rock the Rescue, which is our big fundraiser we're going to do at the end of June, which is June 28th through the 30th. The tickets are on sale today, and we're actually going to start announcing all of our lineup. We have 100 bands and artists that are going to be playing over 15 different venues over 3 days, and we're going to start announcing those bands starting today. But we'll also we have an adoption event at the Pet Sense in Goose Creek, which is off of 176, which is the Walmart in Goose Creek, and we're going to be doing an adoption event. Their adopt-a-thon is what they call it.
Like it.
And we'll be there from 12 to 3 on Saturday.
Wonderful. You're always looking for volunteers, right? And
always looking for
fostering.
volunteers, fosters, any way that you can help. You can go to our website, dorchesterpaws.org, and you can see ways that you can donate, foster, adopt, everything. And you can also come by our shelter, which is at 1364 Paws Lane, and Eva will be there.
Eva will be there, so if you want to adopt Eva, all you have to do is head on over to Dorchester Paws. Anything else you'd like to add before we go?
No, that's it. Just please, if you can help us out, if you are interested in fostering, we are obviously getting to that point of puppy and kitten season. We're going to get overloaded with them. So if you want to help by fostering, even if it's just for a day. Oh, look, she's laying down. Perfect.
There she goes.
Even if it's just for a day, we will set you up. We'll get you hooked up with food, medicine, bowls, cages, whatever you need. And we can even teach you how to do it. So
wonderful. And of course, She's like, look, get me outside. It's gorgeous outside.
Exactly.
Thanks, Callie.
Thank you.
Next on News 2.
Scammers are targeting Americans in debt, particularly millennials, with promises to boost credit score or relieve debt for an advanced fee. But as Liz McLaughlin reports, many of these credit repair companies are leaving customers deeper in the hole or worse.
The millions of Americans in debt are prime targets for scammers. Millennials in particular are struggling with the poorest credit scores of any generation, according to Experian.
There's no magic wand. The best way to repair your credit is to pay all your bills on time and then wait.
But fraudsters are taking advantage of those desperate for a quick fix, promising to relieve debt or improve credit for an upfront fee.
Those companies are required by federal law to provide a written contract like this one, detailing the services that they'll provide, and they can't collect a dime until they complete them.
Anybody who's trying to collect an advanced fee is not a legitimate credit repair organization.
The Better Business Bureau Scam Tracker received more than 700 reports of debt relief and credit repair scams in 2018, costing consumers hundreds of thousands of dollars.
And a credit repair organization can't really do anything that you couldn't do on your own.
You can contact creditors and negotiate for a lower rate or a lower monthly payment, consolidate debts into a single loan payment, or get help from a certified debt or credit counselor.
A credit counselor will help you budget, they'll help you come up with a payment plan, they'll really teach you money management skills.
Skills to help get in the black and stay on track. Liz McLaughlin, NBC News.
11:47, 81 degrees right now in Charleston. It's 81 in Mount Pleasant, 81 Georgetown, Kingstree, all a common number there. As we head toward the lunch hour, we'll slowly climb through the low 80s into the mid 80s during the early afternoon hours. I think our high will be around 85 between 1 and 2 as the sea breeze kicks in this afternoon. Temperatures will level off between 1 and 3 or probably 2, 3 o'clock and then slowly fall down into the upper 70s by the time we get to 6 o'clock. About 80 or so McClellanville today, around 77 on Pawleys, 78 Kiowa, same thing Edisto Beach, Folly, 81 in Georgetown, 84 today in Somerville and Moncks Corner under a mixture of sun and clouds. If you're headed to the beaches, we'll be in the mid to upper 70s through 1 o'clock, into the mid 70s by 4, low to mid 70s at 7 under a partly cloudy to mostly sunny sky. South winds at about 5 to 15 miles per hour. UV index is at a 9, almost to the top of the scale. Water temperature at 73. Overnight, we'll see some clouds, patchy fog, southeast winds at 5 to 10 miles per hour, low 60s, Moncks Corner back to Somerville. We'll be in the mid to upper 60s at Edisto Beach up to the Isle of Palms, low 60s in Georgetown and in Kingstree tonight, mid 60s Goose Creek down into the Charleston Metro and near 60 back at Walterboro. Rainfall is still a big problem as the drought continues. We're down about 7 inches for the year. We should be somewhere in the neighborhood of 13 1/4. We're more right around the 6 area. Minor relief will be possible Friday as an area of low pressure develops off of our coast. And this does have some tropical nature to it. It's coming out of the Bahamas and then we'll be moving north into our direction. Now, will it develop into a tropical system? Most likely not. There is a small risk it becomes a tropical depression. However, it doesn't really matter. That's not going to change the impacts. It's just going to rain a little bit, all right? So off and on showers during the day Friday, maybe a thunderstorm or two possible. The heaviest will likely remain offshore out here toward the Gulf Stream, but still, this is the most promising sign of rain we've had in a while. We can only get decent rain in this weather pattern. It has to come from a cold front like we had a couple of Fridays ago, but that gives us severe weather, or it has to come out of the tropics. We're getting a little bit of a tropical connection Friday. Then Saturday, Sunday, some isolated to widely scattered showers and thunderstorms on the way. And then a typical pattern for more like early June sets up next week as opposed to the early part of May, but at least that does give us some humidity and a chance for a shower or a thunderstorm.
We are now just 3 days away from the Kentucky Derby. This week, we have told you all about this year's fashion trends and what you need to wear. Count on 2's Olivia Parsons is telling us how to bring the Derby to your home.
If you can't make it to this year's Kentucky Derby, we're bringing the Derby to you with the best tips and tricks on how to throw the party of the year.
First, let everyone know what to wear. Ladies, you must sport a hat, and men, a bow tie. Greet them with a cocktail. The mint julep is the official cocktail of the Kentucky Derby, so we looked up the recipe. Start with a dash of simple syrup, some mint leaves, add some soda water, and then crushed ice. And then you pour the bourbon and garnish with a mint leaf. And of course your guests are going to be hungry. Stick with southern staples like pimento cheese, grits, and even pork sliders. Finish off your party with a dessert like apple cranberry pie or some kind of chocolate or cheesecake.
All right, and that was Olivia Parsons reporting. And for more tips and tricks on how to plan the perfect Derby party, you can head on over to our website. That is counton2.com. We have a final check of the forecast coming up after the break.
Final check of your forecast for the midday hours. We're looking at temperatures climbing through the low 80s here over the next hour. Into the mid 80s early this afternoon, then back down to the low 80s by mid to late afternoon as the sea breeze kicks in. South to southeast winds at 10 to 15. We'll be in the upper 70s at 6, low to mid 70s at 8 o'clock. A quiet evening on the way. Our next chance for rain coming in Friday, off and on showers. Friday it's going to be warm, it's going to be humid. And an early June-like weather pattern setting up, we think, next week compared to what we typically would see the first week of May. The normal high is 80. We're going to be running well above that by about 5 to 7 degrees with summer-like humidity and the chance for a shower or thunderstorm each and every afternoon.
All right, so the rain chance going up, John.
It is for Friday at this point.
We'll zero in on that as we get closer to Friday. You can see now we still have 2 lanes closed on top of the Ravenel Bridge headed south out of Mount Pleasant, and you can see traffic is backed up all the way onto 17 in Mount Pleasant. That is not fun. This has been backed up for nearly 2 hours now because of a crash on the bridge. 2 lanes closed, 2 lanes open. So pack the patience or take 526 to make your commute a little bit faster this afternoon. We'll see you back here tomorrow for midday. So see you then.